What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas time, had a good time spending time with your family, loved ones, whoever you decide to spend Christmas time with. Hope you guys had a good time with that. We are back and we are talking about the General Murdock Legendary event coming next month. It's actually a good, 21 days away? We have 4 weeks before the event starts, and then you have another week after the event begins to unlock General Murdock. So we have 5 weeks before players will not see the General Murdock event again for quite a while. So today we're breaking down what you're going to need for General Murdock, how to start getting your characters ready for that, just breaking down a farming guide, and also talking about General Murdock a bit, because honestly, on paper, if you look at him, he looks like he is going to be what you really need to take that Goblin team to the next level. The Goblins right now, they're really missing a solid lead. They have some good stuff going on there, but they're really missing something, and General Murdock is more than likely going to be what ties them together. So he's definitely a must-have character with the Legendary event. I think that he is going to be very helpful with them and making them a very powerful team. On paper, he has the constant assist with his leadership. He has the ability to deal out bonus damage to Order and Elf enemies. He can inflict slow to the enemy team. He can remove turn meter. He can call assists. He can do damage decrease with his basic. He is going to be a very, very powerful character. So definitely a must-have character if you're looking to level up your goblins. Yeah, I mean, right now, without him, you have major shot for leadership, and it does okay, but once you get General Murdock in there, your goblins should be much more powerful. Now, the big drawback to getting General Murdock is that we're going to need to get demons to unlock him. You have to have demons for the event to unlock General Murdock. And yeah, the first thing, the big elephant in the room with demons is that they don't really have a leadership right now. They have Shadar, who you can get through the raids, and you can get him through the heroic raid. But honestly, for the first time in this event, 99% of your players will not have Shadar ready to go for that. In fact, maybe a small handful of players who are constantly getting high scores in the heroic raid could possibly have Shadar at 7 stars in time for the event for General Murdock. But outside of those players, not really going to be possible. So almost no one in the game is going to have Shadar ready for the event for unlocking General Murdock, and that's kind of a problem, because without Shadar, you then have Buff as your only other leadership for demons, and he just does not have a leadership for demons, or he's just not possible to obtain yet. So we have to rely on these 5 demons: Zanterra, Kyra, Venom Eight, Mega Wheel, and Puncher Face, none of which have a leader. But that does not mean it's going to be a bad team necessarily. The strong thing about demons is that they are some of the best plug-and-play characters that you can have currently within Dragon Champions. Off the top of my head, Zanterra is probably top 2 healer. Kyra and Venom Eight are a very strong damage duo. Kyra also synergizes great with your allied tanks. Venom Eight and Kyra pair up together to do a lot of damage. Mega Wheel is a mediocre tank, and Puncher Face is a great way to get around enemy tanks and really kind of help you whittle down some of the weaker enemies in the opposing party. So honestly, demons, they are a pretty solid faction. The one big thing holding them back is, of course, no leadership. But the fact that they have so many good plug-and-play options here, think of it kind of like a band of misfits coming together, and we're going to see just how well they work as a team. And honestly, I think there's something here. I think these guys could work pretty well on their own without a leadership. And if they work really well without a leader, it's going to be interesting to see what Buff does to them, because the Buff leadership is going to be absolutely crazy for demons. But anyways, let's talk about these 5 characters, and let's start with Zanterra, one of the best healers within the game. And honestly, it's because everything she does is healing. Her basic will heal someone for 100% of the damage dealt. Her healing ability she sacrifices 25% of her health and heals all allies for 500% of her magic damage. And then her Kiss of Death, she heals herself based off of the amount of damage that she dealt to the enemy with this ability, and does 330% magic damage to an enemy. So with those 3 abilities, she's either healing herself, she's healing the entire team, or she's healing a single target at one time. She is going to always be healing someone, and that makes her one of the best healers in the game already. I mean, just the constant healing she's able to do, and then you throw in her unique, and I'd recommend this being as one of your priorities for upgrading for this team. Demonic Metabolism restores 1 turn of a random ability at the start of her turn, and also restores the turn of a random ability to a random ally. Making her go fast and really buffing up her magic damage, she's going to heal for quite a lot, she's going to move fast, and she's also going to help restore cooldowns on abilities. She is going to help your team spam special abilities or anything like that. This is an ability I recommend you guys work on upgrading right away, even if it's just here to level 5, because then it's a 50% chance. Level 6 guarantees it. So if you get to at least level 4, you have a 30%, then level 5 bumps up to 50, with level 6 getting to a guaranteed chance to reduce the cooldowns on a random ability. Basically, one of the best healers in the game, really helpful with reducing cooldowns. She's one that you're gonna get some really great mileage out of her if you choose to upgrade her, so there's nothing to be lost by gearing her up. Next up, we have Kyra, and if you don't know about Kyra by now, I don't know what to tell you. Kyra is a fantastic plug-and-play character. She has the ability to give everyone but defenders on your team invisibility, gives them bonus turn meter, and then also applies counterattack to the tanks for 2 turns. And if Venom Eight is on the battlefield, he receives haste at the same time. Guys, this ability is great, and this is what makes Kyra such a desirable character. This is another character that if you guys decide to level her up and gear her up, you are not wasting anything on her. She is another plug-and-play character that's fantastic in the game, one that you're not going to regret gearing up just for this ability. And then, of course, you also have the AoE ability here where she can deal daze to the enemy targets. 30% chance to deal daze, and of course daze prevents turn meter gain, counterattacks, assisting. So daze is a very strong debuff as well that she can place out, and she can apply a 50% chance to apply ability block with her basic. So she hands out a lot of debuffs. She boosts the turn meter on your team, gives counterattack to your tanks, and then with her passive ability, she can get a significant damage bonus if she's invisible. 30% when fully upgraded. If Venom Eight is in the party, he receives the same buff. You don't have to fully upgrade this. If you get up to like level 2 or 3, that's still 10%, 15% at level 4. That's still a sizable buff there. And here with this one, if you can at least get to level 2 on Go Dark, that gives all the buffs for 2 turns, and then after that you get the boost to the turn meter, so nothing too crazy there. And then the Hail of Arrows, you have to upgrade it to really get those daze chance increases, so that's one you may want to invest a little bit more heavily in. And then here with her basic, before you get to level 5, it's only a 20% chance, and then it goes up to 50% over the last 2 levels, so probably another one that you may want to invest in if you desire it. But then Venom Eight also bumps in here with Kyra, and part of this dynamic duo, and he is all about the debuffs with the poison. He's all about spraying out poison. He can inflict poison with his basic attack with a 50% chance to call Kyra to assist, so they can get poisoned and ability blocked at the same time. His AoE ability, Poisonous Cloud, can put poison on the entire enemy team. So for 2 turns there. And then he also has this buff ability. When fully upgraded, applies crit damage increase, counterattack, and crit chance increase to an ally for 2 turns. Restores 75% of the turn meter to the target ally. You only need to get this up to a couple levels to really start to get it, to really get the boost to it. At level 5, you get the crit chance increase. So, I mean, if you want to get the crit chance increase, you can get up to there, but honestly, you really don't need to go too high on this ability to get it to really start to get those effects. Only a couple levels on what's your poison is going to be great. And then Poison Master, much like Kyra, he gets a damage boost as well. 20% more damage for each stack of poison on all enemies, and if Kyra is on the battlefield at the same time, she receives the same buff. So boosting the potency on Venom Eight is going to be very helpful because that helps ensure that he can land the poison stacks, and then that gives a huge damage boost to both him and Kyra. So follow up that AoE ability with Poisonous Cloud. He puts poison on the enemy team, then Kyra uses her AoE ability with the daze. That's a really nasty combo because you could ideally get 100% bonus damage plus another 30% with her invisibility on Kyra for that ability, and that is really going to make it hit pretty hard. So Kyra and Venom Eight, fantastic duo that you will actually see in arena teams from time to time. There was a thing with Tromgar, Kyra, and Venom Eight being a solid trio for an arena team that allowed a lot of players to really climb up the rank, on the punch up, because of the damage duo with those two characters, and then Tromgar with its counterattacks and stuns. So again, pretty solid damage duo there. And then you get to Puncher Face. We'll cover Mega Wheel last. Puncher Face is another great plug-and-play character for the simple reason that he is able to really cut through taunts on the enemy team. Now, what you get with him, you have the ability to recover turn meter with his basic attack, nothing special there. You have his Knot in the Face, where he is able to gain haste for 2 turns, deal some pretty significant damage with this, nice ability, but then you get to Earthquake, and this is what makes him so deadly. 210% of physical damage to all enemies and inflicts taunt for 2 turns. That means that if you have 1 or 2 tanks on the enemy team that are just taunting, you can't get around them, you use Earthquake with Puncher Face, and he basically throws taunt on the entire enemy team. That allows you to quickly focus down certain characters. So you have some kind of healer that's really annoying you, you put out this taunt ability, you focus down that healer really quickly, and allows you to quickly pick apart that enemy team. Puncher Face is a fantastic plug-and-play character solely because of this ability. So another character that is not going to be wasted potential. And that's the beautiful thing about these demons, is 4 out of 5 of these characters, you will not regret gearing them up, because you're going to get a lot of mileage out of them. They're fantastic characters for this reason. Of course, also I forgot, 20% bonus speed on his passive ability. Don't really need to upgrade that, but the cooldown reduction on Zanterra and this taunt on Earthquake for Puncher Face, those are 2 abilities I recommend you guys max out ASAP, because the constant cooldown reduction is going to help your team out, and this taunt is going to allow your team to really focus down certain annoying characters. Those 2 abilities are the ones I really recommend you guys max out first. And then we get to Mega Wheel, very much a mediocre tank. There's nothing here that's special about him, but he does get some really interesting synergies, especially with Kyra on the team, especially if you throw him into a full demon squad as well. His basic has the ability to apply a stack of pain for 5 turns to 1 enemy target. He has his Hit Me ability, where he recovers health, he taunts, and he gains cheat death for 2 turns, and he cleanses 2 debuffs from himself. Honestly, you only need to get this up to like level 2, level 3. Level 3 gives you a cleansing on the ability for 1 debuff, but getting that cheat death for 2 turns at level 2, that's really as far as you need to go with that. The health recovery is nice, but Zanterra is going to be healing you a bunch anyways. Mega Wheel gains 6% crit chance increase for each living demon in the party. Honestly, take this up like 1 or 2 levels at most. There's nothing crazy here. You don't have to go crazy with increasing the crit chance on him. But then you go back to this, you call that a hit. Honestly, this could be very deadly. I have not tested it out yet to see what damage potential we could get with this, but what you get with this ability is he deals physical damage to all enemies and removes pain stacks from them, and deals additional 40% for each pain stack removed from that enemy. So you're probably already seen what we're going for here. You use Kyra to put the counterattack on Mega Wheel. You have him taunt or whatever. He's able to then counterattack, and he's applying stacks of pain. Now you then give it a couple turns, let him really stack up that pain on the enemy team, and then you follow up with this, and you're gonna hit that enemy team for a decent amount. Now, his physical damage right now, it's only at 2470. I've still got some physical damage that I can really stack on him. I could probably push him up over 3000 physical damage here with all this. Plus, he has this Widowmaker that gives a lot of armor penetration. He is going to hit decently hard with this once you start stacking up those pain abilities. So this is something where you can use a kind of like a triple tap of AoE abilities. Use Venom Eight's Poisonous Cloud. He gets poison on the enemy team. Kyra follows up with her AoE that smacks a bunch of enemies, gets daze on them, and then if you have a lot of pain on the enemy team at the same time, Mega Wheel then follows up with this, removes all those stacks of pain, and hits everybody pretty hard. So there is some damage potential with Mega Wheel, but for the most part, he's kind of mediocre. He relies on the stacks of pain getting landed, so of course you will have to mod him for potency, and honestly, at the end of the day, not the best tank in the game. It's not that he's bad, he's just okay. I mean, once we get some of these demon leaders in here, probably going to be a better demon, but for now, he's not one I would waste a lot of resources on. I would go for these other characters, especially Zanterra and Kyra. I would gear them up first. Now, in terms of farming them, this is where things get a little interesting. Kyra and Venom 8 are both found within stores. Kyra, you can get her in the guild store, also 2 hard nodes. And then Venom 8, you can also get him 2 hard nodes, and then he's also available in the tower. Now, the other demons here, they're a bit more tricky. You can also get Puncherface in the tower, so you have the ability to get him there. He's in the market, which all the demons are, so nothing crazy there. And then Mega Wheel, 2 hard nodes for him, and Zanterra is 2 nodes for her. This is gonna be a difficult farm, especially since you have to have these characters at 7 stars. If you have not started farming these characters yet, good luck. Be ready to spend a lot of drag coins to get those constant refreshes and the energy boost, because you're really gonna have to farm hard if you want to get Murdoch in time. You're gonna have to just start farming crazy. This is one where if you start working on these characters well before now with the announcement of this event, you're probably in a good spot. If you haven't, well, you're gonna be in trouble. And that's what it's gonna come down to. There's no 5-star unlock requirement here. You have to have all these demons at 7 stars to unlock General Murdock. He is a 7-star unlock, the first one we've had in the game. So we're getting a pretty good gauge on players here and how difficult this is gonna be. 3 of these characters, you can get their shards through stores. 2 of them are solely on hard nodes. So Zanterra and Mega Wheel, I would spend my hard node energy on them first and see what I can get from the stores from Kyra, Venom 8, and Puncherface, and then farm their hard nodes if necessary. Be prepared to refresh nodes quite a bit. I'd probably do 2 to 3 refreshes of their nodes a day if I am still way behind. I wish there was a farming calculator. I'm sure there's a farming calculator on BADC. I'll have to check that out. But yeah, if you do not have these demons ready to go and you're nowhere near 7 stars yet, you're going to be prepared. You need to be prepared to spend in order to get General Murdoch the first time. That's a shame, but that's the way mobile games go. So it's kind of what can you do about it? So honestly, your demons, for the most part, 4 out of 5 of these characters, you're going to be great if you spend resources on them. Mega Wheel, he's okay. I wouldn't go too crazy on him, but the other 4, have at it. Throw on gear, throw on their ability increases. Those characters are going to be definitely worth your time. Let me know down below, what do you guys think about this event? Do you guys think that this is going to be an interesting one? What do you guys think about the fact that we have 5 weeks to prepare for this event? Let me know down below. As always, guys, if you did enjoy this video, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. I will see you guys next time.